What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Rick Reads Comics. Almost said Watch Rick Game. But this is House of X, and it is number 5. We're almost to the end of our book we're going through. This is a collection of House of X and Powers of 10. There's 6 issues each. If you're, haven't caught up on those, if you don't know what's going on, you can go back on my playlist and watch my other videos. They're all in order by issue. But yeah, today we're on chapter 9. So this is 9 out of the whole collection. And it's called Society, and it's House of X, number 5. Number 5. Here is the cover of everything, just in case you're not sure what we're in. But it's pretty cool art throughout. We'll go over the credits today because I haven't done that in all the videos. But this one's going to have Apocalypse on the cover. You saw in the thumbnail the full color image. But yep, there he is. And we've had a lot of stuff go on. A lot of characters died. Then we found out they could come back. So that's pretty cool. We'll see where it takes us today. But just going back to House of X, number 5. This is numbers 1 through 6. The whole thing is written by Jonathan Hickman. He's kind of leading the story on everything, the writer. But the artist for House of X is Pepe Larraz, and the color artists are Marty Gracia. And on the cover art is Pepe Larraz and Marty Gracia. For number 6, David Curiel will also be the color artist. But letter is VC's Clayton Cowles. Design is Tom Muller. Assistant editor is Annalise Visa. And editor is Jordan D. White. You can go ahead and pause it if you want and look at the rest of the credits. Of course, X-Men is created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And now let's jump into it. I'm excited to see where this goes. We're almost done, so it's all the action is ramping up. Okay, here we go. They're on Krakoa. This is just after the X-Men have been brought back. If you're not too sure what that means, you can look in the other issues, but they are Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine, a bunch of them that went on a crazy suicide mission kind of in space. Didn't make it out, and now they've come back. You can check out Powers of 10, issue number 4, to find out how. Brothers and sisters of Krakoa, this is Storm talking. A great thing has happened today, a miracle made possible by mutant hands. The great work of the 5. So the 5 are right there. It says, love them. So everybody's congratulating them and showing them honor. And it says, for they have righted the wrongs of man and defeated our great enemy, death. By the power that is their birthright, the 5 have returned these mutants, thought lost to us, their family, and to this place, their home. I see them. Do you? And they're up there all naked. They basically got cloned almost. It says, we see them, but do we know them? She looks back. What is your name? Cyclops, Scott Summers. And how do I know it's you, brother? Once I thought I was strong, a leader of mutants, and then you showed me what strong was. I've learned it watching you. This is my brother. I know him. As do you. Yes, his name is Cyclops, but he is more than that. What is he? And they raise their fists. Mutant. What is your name? Marvel Girl, Jean Grey. And how do I know it's you, Jean? Oh, I'm the only me that ever was, Aurora. This is my sister. I know her. As do you. Yes, her name is Jean Grey, but she is more than that. What is she? And then they all scream, Mutant. It's almost like a pep rally. What is your name? Penance. Monet St. Croix. And how do I know it's you, child? No touching. She starts laughing. This is my sister. I know her. As do you. Yes, her name is Monet, but she is more than that. What is she? And they all raise and scream, Mutant. My God, I should be happy watching this. I should be weeping with joy. But, that's Magneto talking. Over the years, man has killed millions of us, and so many remain lost. But this is the good work, Eric. And that's Charles Xavier, Professor X. And it must continue until Genosha is spoken of not as a grave, but as a crucible. The work will continue until it is done. It is foundational, everything. They should have killed us all when they had the chance. When does the UN vote? Tomorrow. The Security Council meets in the morning, and if none of the permanent members vote against us, there will be an expedited General Assembly vote tomorrow afternoon. Are you worried? Not today. Today I am filled with nothing but hope. This is my brother. I know him. Just talking about Nightcrawler. As do you. Yes, his name is Nightcrawler, but he is more than that. What is he? And they all scream, Mutant. Mutants all. And it was through their deaths that a great victory was won for our people, the first victory of many. See them for what they are, heroes of Krakoa. All right, and then now we're on our information block. The genetic base. Mr. Sinister, or its resurrection. The genetic base. Mr. Sinister has an extensive repository of mutant genetic material that has carefully assembled in recent years. In it, he has the DNA of almost every known mutant on the planet Earth, carefully constructed with the help of Xavier. These are the biological building blocks of each specific mutant, their physical makeup, along with what their power is. Without this, we have nothing. No, this library, which began as solely biological samples, has now been converted to holographic sequencing. And while all current mutant modifications have been limited to optimal aging, it is believed that in the future, designer modifications will be possible. And the host. In the process of mutant resurrection, the genetic base is introduced into organic matter and a mutant husk is created. And while this is not the essence of who or what any mutant is, it is the essential component that makes mutant resurrection possible, as traditional cloning procedures capable of creating a replicant shell grow in real time. Any product of temporal growth is susceptible to change agents and variations. The process of the mutant resurrection. A group of 5 mutants work in conjunction to produce a biological husk, and they are. So these are the 5. Whenever at the beginning, Storm says, thanks to the 5 right there, and we're about to go through their names. Fabio Medina, Gold Balls. A mutant capable of producing a limitless amount of unviable biological eggs. Kevin McTaggart, Proteus. A mutant capable of warping reality and transforming an unviable egg into a viable one. Joshua Foley, Elixir. Mutant capable of biologically kick-starting the process of life, initializing cell replication and husk growth. Eva Bell, Tempest. A mutant capable of temporarily maturing a husk to a desired. Okay. A mutant capable of temporally maturing a husk to a desired age. And Hope Summers, Hope. A mutant capable of enhancing and synergizing the other resurrection mutants' powers to ensure the success of each resurrection. So it needs to have all 5 to be successful. Note, while it has not yet been tested, it is believed that upgrades, extensions, stand-ins could be assisted by mutants such as Sync or Mimic. Note, the Proteus problem, where the powers of this mutant are directly associated with the destruction of its own body and are the direct cause of all physiological and psychological deviance over the years, has been solved by always having a backup mutant husk prepared for Proteus to inhabit when he burns out his old one. Depending on the frequency with which he is using his power, a Proteus body normally lasts 1 week, but can last as little as 1 day during periods of excessive power use. Proteus backup mutant husk is always created from the genetic base of Charles Xavier. Okay, that's crazy. The mind. A backup of every mutant mind on the planet exists. Once a week, Charles Xavier copies the latest version of every mutant mind to multiple redundant cradles located in several locations across the world. These backups are the essence of each mutant, how they think, how they feel, their memories, their very being. When a mutant husk is ready, Charles Xavier injects this backup of who they are into their husk, and that mutant is reborn. Note, there has been no experimentation regarding what happens when you combine a mutant mind with a husk that is not their own. Okay, well, this is crazy. They got it down to a process, but it's open to all kinds of problems, probably, if something goes wrong. So that's pretty wild. I don't know. Resurrection scale. Initially, the resurrection capabilities on Krakoa topped out at around 1,000 mutants a week, or around 200 a day. The current estimated mutant population on Earth is around 100,000 and growing. The depowered population of mutants on Earth is just under 1 million, and the deceased population of mutants on Earth is over 16 million. primarily from Genosha. At that rate of resurrection, it would take around 300 years to bring back everyone who died, let alone how to address the depowered mutants and any that might die in the interim time period. However, as the resurrection machine has become more unified and better at being what they are and doing what they do, it's estimated that capabilities could possibly reach around 30,000 a week and full Genosian resurrection be achieved in 10 years. The complication here is that Xavier would have to download, resurrect 6,000 minds a day, which he is not capable of. By that time, there will need to be a workaround or a team of telepaths trained to properly use Cerebro. Note: extensive testing has shown that the mutant resurrection machine, the Five, is not operating under duress or fatigue or even massive exertion. It appears that the more they do this, the stronger they become, and the easier the process becomes. The experience has been described by all five as incredibly blissful, not in a narcotized kind of way, but in a manner more akin to a total fulfillment. Additionally, these five mutants appear to have become an inseparable family unit and are almost never apart from one another. Their symbiotic process appears to have extended beyond the union of their powers into the mutants themselves. Some of this could be psychological, as on Krakoa, they are universally revered, not as celebrities, something achievable through works, but as a cultural paragons, something sacred to be treasured. Resurrection Protocol. Currently, mutant resurrection takes around 48 hours, a 12-hour gestational period for the DNA samples to take in an egg, and 30 to 42 hours to mature the egg to its desired maturation. However, because of fears regarding duplication and other general questions of morality, unless an actual death has been documented, someone believed to be dead cannot be resurrected until their death has been confirmed or they have been undetectable by cerebral for 1 month. Note: it is expected that sooner rather than later, a mutant organization will be tasked with investigating mutant missing persons and suspected deaths and murders so as to confirm when the resurrection process should begin. Note: it is also expected that should force conventions become necessary, their extra special mandate would supersede normal resurrection protocols. Okay, that was a lot of information, but it looks like we got the gist of the resurrection process that just happened. Back at the United Nations, the next day. You're loving this, aren't you? She's speaking in her mind. Then again, what's not to love? Congratulations, Charles. You've won yourself a nation. It's our nation, Miss Frost. Due, I suspect, in no small measure, to you. Why, whatever do you mean, Charles? I got the sense that the Security Council wasn't going to support us today. More than a sense, really. The French ambassador all but told me the Russian ambassador would be voting against us. Imagine my surprise when she abstained. I would be too surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised. I found most humans to be impressionable. People change their minds all the time. Who knows, the ambassador could have had a crisis of conscience. A little humanity to go with her excess of humanity. Got beast in her mingling and talking. Compulsion leaves an indelible mark on the victim, Emma. It also affects the one perpetrating the act. Dominating the will of another, you see, often comes with a cost. Are you accusing me of something, Charles? I just wanted you to know that I know, and a grateful nation thanks you for your sacrifice. You're welcome. Now, buy me something pretty, or, I don't know, make me governor of a province. To the first, what do you get the woman who can already buy anything she wants? As to the second, you already know I have much bolder things in mind. Okay. Well, she used her influence to make the vote happen. But Charles is not mad about it. And I think the old Charles would have been mad. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Mutant diplomacy. All current mutant diplomacy and the future security and sovereignty of Krakoa is dependent on relationships with human nations centering on their need for mutant pharmaceuticals and the Krakoan ability to meet them. More than 100 nations have accepted a trade deal with Krakoa. And while negotiations are ongoing with most of the world's remaining nations, some have rejected Krakoan overtures. Nations that have rejected a trade treaty with Krakoa are considered to be naturally adversarial. A list of those nations is as follows: non treaty nations, the continents, nation, and reason for rejection. So, Asia, nation, Iran, ideological, reason for rejection. Madripoor, political. North Korea, ideological. And then Europe, Latveria, which is Dr. Doom's place, political. Russia, political. South America, Brazil, political. Santo Marco, ideological. Terra Verde, ideological. And Venezuela, political. Central America, Honduras, political. And Africa, Wakanda, they do not need mutant drugs, so they didn't even worry about it. Azania, Wakandan academic, Wakandan economic protectorate, and Canaan, Wakandan economic protectorate, and Kenya, Wakandan economic protectorate. All right, here's the map. So all the black, I'm assuming, is the ones that accepted it. And then the red are the ones that did not, like Russia and stuff, and those countries we just mentioned. Okay, 2 days later, Krakoa. So this is Beast, no, Wolverine. You sure about this? It's not too late to change your mind. An opportunity to change is exactly what I'm offering, Wolverine. Chuck, I gotta tell you, when you talk like that, I kinda want to beat you to death. Some people are beyond saving. If that were true, would you be here? Would I? Incoming, Professor. There are so many. 20 in the first wave, too many to count following that. Sage, ask Krakoa to turn the throttle off and just keep the gate open. Uh-oh, they're welcoming the villains. Mr. Sinister. Dang, that's cool. These are some good shots. I don't even know all these guys. Ah, Krakoa and its apocalypse. Yes, I know. It's been too long. They're speaking to Krakoa. In a flashback in the old ones, the old issues, the ones we've already went through, Apocalypse had something to do with saving Krakoa way back in the ancient times. Can't remember if it's in Powers of Ten or House of X, but it was there. Making yourself a little too comfortable, aren't you, pal? Comfortable is an inadequate word, but yes, I am comfortable. Krakoa knows me, and I Krakoa. Is that so? It is. I fought a war here before the world had any idea there were such a thing as mutants. And this is fitting, for we have fought for something as well and gained it. I want to be clear here, Apocalypse. We will not risk losing this place because some of you might not value what is being offered. So, is that going to be a problem? And why would it be, Wolverine? For centuries, I have fostered war and conflict, all in the hopes of mutantdom finally asserting dominance over this world. Now look at you. Look at all of you. You have finally become what I intended you to be. I could not be more proud. We need to hear the words. We submit to the laws of this land, be what they may, and acknowledge that from this day forward we all serve a higher purpose than want or need. One people from this day forward. Very well. Then let it be known, let the word spread, Krakoa is for all mutants. Welcome home. Okay, that's crazy. Apocalypse shaking hands with Professor X. After all the fighting years and years and everything else, they made peace. And I assume this is going to be the end of the issue, but we'll see. If you're us, then be with us. Come home. That's from Magneto. And that's it. I was right. And looky here, we have Mr. Sinister. We're jumping back to Powers of 10 next time. It'll be issue number 5 also. So there's only 3 issues left in this book. There's Powers of 10 number 5, Powers of 10 number 6, and House of X number 6. So we're almost there. We'll see how this finishes up. But thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next time, guys. It's October. We're going to have some other things in store later on. We'll do Batman Last Night on Earth for Halloween with some zombie and apocalypse kind of stuff in it. and I'll play Castlevania for Watch Your Game. So check that out later. All right, see you next time.